2022 Korean American Grassroots Conference Town Hall Meeting. Joining us this evening from New Jersey's District 37 Legislature, please welcome, well, he's on his way, Senator Gordon Johnson, and Assemblywoman Ellen J. Park. We welcome and thank you everyone from the Korean American community for joining us together tonight. Now we will have welcoming remarks by Lee Chang-hun, President of Korean American Association of New Jersey, also known as New Jersey 한인회.
So everyone, welcome to the Korean American Association of New Jersey headquarters. Today is the 2022 Korean American Grassroots Conference Town Hall Meeting. Now, this town hall meeting is important for many reasons. First, it has been over 2 years since the last town hall meeting. We've had a rough 2 years, and finally we can gather together like this, speak to each other, meet together, pick our brains together, right? Figure out what we need to do. Secondly, we have an opportunity to find out what we have found that we need for our community, for the betterment of our community. We have our elected officials here who are working tirelessly to help us and our goals. So, I hope today is an informative day for you, a pleasant day, and I hope to see you all next time because I am ready for the next one, whether that be next month, next year. So thank you again.
And now the Honorable Assemblywoman Ellen J. Park.
오늘 이런 기회가 있어가지고 저도 I'm looking very forward to having this conversation. 오늘 여기 다 질문이 있지만 I'm hoping we can have some kind of resolution. 그리고 이제부터도 여기 젊은 애들 나와가지고 저분 굉장히 기분 좋고 희망이 있어요. 그래서 이제부터는 우리가 be a strong community, and we will look forward to making us even more stronger. So, 감사합니다.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for the KACE for putting this together. I know the Dry Cleaning Association is here somewhere. Thank you for your support over the years, but we have to continue to work together to be prosperous in this country. So. We'll keep the line of communication open. We'll have a dialogue, active dialogue with the young people and our seniors and our working people. And now I have Ellen Park here. She can take some of the weight. So we're a team. Sharma, Ellen, and I, we're a team who are here to work for you. I'll close with that.
Okay, so in that spirit of open dialogues, let's open the floor for questions. Again, these questions have been submitted in advance. They are available in your booklets for view. Let's see, so the first question coming up comes from Joining East and West as Education Liaisons, also known as JEWEL. The main topic is education, and this is regarding AAPI history.
Good evening. Hello, my name is Kay Kim from JEWEL. JEWEL stands for Joining East and West as Education Liaisons. We are the non-profit organization dedicated to fostering educational and cultural exchanges between United States and world cultures. Last year, New Jersey became the second state among 50 states as Governor Murphy signed into law very important bills. The AAPI curriculum bill, which requires school districts to provide instruction on history and contributions of Asian American and Pacific Islanders, and also signed into the law to establish Commission on Asian American Heritage on DOE. Thank you, Senator Johnson. I heard that you were the prime sponsor for this bill. Thank you for your effort. My question to the Senator Johnson is what are available channels of communications for organizations such as ours to communicate and follow up with your progress of the committee's mission? And I have a following questions, Assemblywoman Ellen Park. I read an article. You said the bills were referred to as a very important first step, but obviously you said there is much more work to do. So my question goes, what next steps should the state take on? And what should be your role to accomplish those next steps as the first Korean Assemblywoman in New Jersey? Thank you.
Right now, the committee is, still in a very early stage. So I have been in communications to find out what the state plans to do next. But because it's also summer and everybody's off for the summer until September, there hasn't been that much communication. But that being said, you know, one thing I learned from government, right, is that everything takes a very long time. And a lot of times it is frustrating. But my goal here as a legislature and of course a representative of Korean Americans is that we keep pushing, and we don't forget. And what I've done is so out of the list of 27 members, only 2 are Korean. 2분이 한국 분이에요. 그래서 그분은 Peter An and Amber Reed. 근데 Amber Reed는 Montclair에 살고 그때 한 번 만나고 요번에 그저께 pastor 목사 Peter An 만났어요. So I met with Peter An and I told him that because there's only 2 out of 27, we really must distinguish ourselves, that we don't get mixed in with the Chinese or Japanese. And, I understand that this is AAPI committee지만 we still need to make sure that Korean American is represented here. So, right now it's making sure that the people that are representing us that are on the committee understand that and that they will have resources should they need to ask about Korean American history. So that is the step that I am taking right now, and hopefully by September, my goal also is to connect Peter An with Amber Reed. 그 두 분이 모르거든요. 그래서 거기도 소개해주고 이제 9월달, 10월달 되면은 그때 또 계속 푸시하고 계속 이게 분명히 내년까지는 그 커리큘럼이 있어야 된다고 그걸 딱 잡아놓으려고 그래요. So that's what I'm doing right now. You want to answer the other question?
Yeah, well, I just want to say that the foundation for this is in place already. It's there. If you look into the Armistead Commission, that's our black history in this country, which causes or mandates that students are taught about African American history or the contributions that black people in this country made to this country. So use that same foundation for this to ensure that Asian Americans, including Koreans, Asian Americans, that their history, their contributions that were made in this country are taught in the schools and also discussed throughout government. Now, in line of communication, where does one go with ideas? Well, you'd go to your local school boards because you go to people like Ellen and I. You go to our office, we can pass it on. You go to the governor's office, wherever. I mean, if you have an idea or you feel that something should be brought out, a contribution that a group has made, or something that should be taught to all the people, all the students in New Jersey, then don't hesitate to call our office or the Department of Education at the state level or at your local level to get that, to sort of hear your concerns.
그 AAPI 커미션이 그 법으로 만드는 게 아니라 그 커미티니까 내가 여기 교육 추천만 하시죠. 거기 그 지방 자치체 그러니까는 타운마다 그거는 이거를 가리키다 안 가리키다 끝에는 타운이 그걸 패스해야 돼요. 그러니까는 꼭 그 커미티는 그 레코멘데이션만 해주지 그 법으로 만드는 건 아니에요. 그렇게 아세요.
On the topic of security, Korean Community Center has 2 questions. One regarding hate crimes and bias incidents against Asians, and the other about expanding language services. Can you please come up?
안녕하세요. KCC 남경훈입니다. Hi, this came from the KCC, Director ED, Michael Nam. For the background, during the COVID, there's raised a lot of hate crime, Asian hate crime. So we are wondering that we are mostly usually very safe in the area, but not as like in a city. But still, we need to know what system for secure for our neighborhood. So that I like to hearing what kind of work for the state in this town? That's the first question.
Your question is, what are we doing, we meaning the state, doing in response to the hate crimes that have occurred during COVID and before? And that is nothing, unfortunately, that's nothing new in our society. We had, the Jewish people had issues with hate crimes where synagogues and places where people gather were being targeted, or they felt they were being targeted by people who didn't like them. So now we go to the Asian Americans who are here, who are being victims of that. We, at the state level, of course, we in the legislature passed legislation to help protect and increase the penalties for hate crimes. But I believe that the local law enforcement, your local police in these different towns, Bergen County has 70 towns, like 68 police departments, plus the sheriff's department. So the local police are aware of that, and they are looking into that and to ensure that they can provide the public safety needed to everyone that could be a victim of this. And it's the state job to give them the resources and funding they need to do this, which we have been doing. So the local police are on it, as I understand, as I've seen. The Bergen County Sheriff is on it, and I'm just using Bergen County now. And I feel that with the help, and the state police, they're on it because they do the intelligence, provide intelligence to the local police. So as a team, we're working, or they're working, to ensure that the protection is out there. And I'll close with that.
그러니까는 계속 우리도 그 전에 저도 여기 버긴 카운티 검사하고 만났어요. 그래서 거기서 이제 많이 문제가 있으면은 거기다가 이르고 경찰한테 이르는데 이제 말이 안 통하다. 그러니까는 경찰한테 검사한테 직접 전화하기가 힘드니까 어떻게 하냐. 그러니까는 여기서 그 캠페인 선전 받는지 안 받는지 모르지만 우리 여기 민콘 센터 아니면은 KCC 아니면은 여기 뉴저지 한인대 같은데 연락해가지고 폭행 당했다, 인종차별 당했다, 거기서 말이 안 통하니까 신고해야 된다. 그러면 꼭 이런 데서 도와주거든요. 그러니까는 이런 오르가니제이션이 굉장히 중요하다 제가 생각해요. 그리고 한국 이 오르가니제이션만 아니라 그 여기서도 말했지만 그 전에도 주위시 사람들도 인종차별 벌고 차별 당하고 그러면은 거기도 Anti-Defamation League라는 오르가니제이션이 있어요. 거기는 당하면은 그 데이터를 다 그 신고한 거를 뉴욕 언제에서 어느 동네에서 어떻게 당했다 그걸 다 갖고 있고 이렇게 매년 보는 거예요. 어디서 제일 그런 일이 나타나는가. 그러니까 우리도 이제부터 이렇게 당하면은 꼭 신고해야 돼요. 보통 그냥 하기 싫어서 아니면 너무 힘들다 하고 안 하는데 우리가 더 잘 되려면 꼭 무조건 그러니까 차 사고 나면 꼭 경찰을 부르고 꼭 폴리스 리포트가 있어야 되잖아요. 증거가 그렇게 생각해야 돼요. 꼭 신고해야 돼요. 그리고 여기도 그 흑인 사람도 they have NAACP. NAACP is the National Association for Advancement of Colored People, correct? Alright. Okay. 그러니까 그런 큰 오르가니제이션도 도와주니까 우리도 이제부터는 이런 코리안 큰 이제 오래된 오르가니제이션 이렇게 한인회, KCC 뭐 이런 우리가 이렇게 밀어줘야 되고 거기다 이제 거기서도 좀 일을 많이 하셔야 돼요. 그래서 예.
And I'll follow up by saying that the Attorney General's office has provided $1 million for a public awareness campaign regarding this. So the state has responded in that way. Also, I think also to assist us in this, I feel that our local community should hire people, police officers, that represent the community, that represent the culture or the ethnicity of the community. So I have legislation in to try to ensure that local towns throughout the state of New Jersey, that the officers that they hire or represent, at least by percentage, the ethnicity of the people that they are protecting, because there's certain cultural aspects to that that are important to that community that a native person would understand. So that's just another 2 points to that.
Well, it's related to that, hate crime. For near the now, there's many Korean brochure service we can find from public service department, but still they have not many service for the Korean brochure or Korean language service or the hotline. Even that someone wants to reporting that they have a language problem, but the case maybe that's why people drop down the case. It happens to happen, just turn away. So I would like to asking that if they are scheduling for Korean language service for public area, a brochure or online service.
There is a service for that law enforcement uses. If you're a victim of a crime or if you want to report some incident, and you don't speak English, they will contact. We have vendors that provide translation services for that. And also in the courts usually hire translators for those who are trying to defend themselves at the local level. So that's there.
So more, still have not many place. I mean, public service like a PSENG or health department at the government side. They don't have a Korean brochure. So.
PSENG, they don't work for the state. They're autonomous from the state. But I bring it up to them.
Thank you very much. Just a reminder with CASE, we've been working to fight against, racism, against these bias incidents. In New York, we've, partnered up with AAPI organizations over there as well. We call it the Hope Against Hate campaign. And we've been working diligently to make sure we create safe places for people to live, to grow their businesses, to raise their children. And I hope that we can do the same here in New Jersey together with, Senator Johnson and Assemblywoman Park, just making this place a flourishing environment for all of us. So thank you for those responses. Right now, we're going to have some students from our CASE Grassroots internship come up and ask some questions as well. The first one is based on security and more specifically on school safety. So could you please come up?
So good evening, everyone. My name is Noah O. I am a rising senior for Lee High School, and I'm currently interning for CASE. So I want to ask, mass shootings throughout the country have instilled fear in many of our communities. As we know, the recent mass shooting in Buffalo, in Uvalde, Texas, and those that took place over the July 4th weekends have led many parents and citizens in fear of their children's safety. So in New Jersey, we understand there's been recent legislation called Gun Safety Package 3.0 passed by Governor Phil Murphy. So could you explain how this addresses the issues and concerns regarding safety in schools, and particularly with shootings?
Well, very basically, this gun bill package. First of all, let me start by saying that New Jersey is one of the most strictest, has the most strictest laws when it comes to gun owning weapons. All right? We do not allow assault weapons in this state at all, ownership. All right. This gun package that was just signed by the governor just added to that. So it's we've always required background checks to have a weapon. Now, if you move in from out of state with a weapon, you have to register that weapon to the state police. So they want to know that you have weapons in your new residence here in New Jersey. That's one of the deals there. So a problem that we've experienced in the past with schools, with school design is years ago, many years ago, schools were built and designed to welcome the community in. I mean, that's how they were built, to welcome the community in. Now you have a reversal of that. Now you want to ensure that those who are in the building are safe, and the doors are designed in a way that people can't just walk in anymore. So schools were designed years ago to welcome the community in. Now we have the reversal where we want to keep people out, where it's a secure building, So I think in response to your question about concerns about students in buildings no, I'm not going into stores and supermarkets. That's a whole other area. I can't get into that at all because that's a whole other conversation. But schools, the local police and the sheriff's department in this county are well aware of actually they have even plans, but they have the building designs, so they know if they're responding to a certain structure, they know what the building looks like and what's going on inside there, what the designs, what the layout is inside. So through technology that they have. So I'll say that in New Jersey, in this state, which is the very strict gun control laws, and will continue to be that way, obviously, and it's just our attitude towards gun safety and protecting our young people, and actually all the residents of New Jersey.
저도 작은 애들이가 있으니까 이런 거 뉴저지 건 컨트롤 돼서 요번에 법이 나왔지만 그 전에는 이런 문제가 처음에 이제 건 컨트롤 이런 거 걱정됐을 때 한 5년 코비드 전에 한 6년 전에 학교에 들어가려면은 드라이버스 라이센스가 있어야 돼요. 그리고 드라이버스 라이센스를 다 스캔하고 이분이 진짜 자기 말하는 사람이라고. They verify by scanning your driver's license, right? 근데 이제는 driver's license 있든 말든 못 들어가게 해요. You cannot go to the school and visit your son or your daughter. You can't drop off food even. 점심을 까먹었다가 가져가야 된다면은 they say sorry. Only 진짜 emergency면은 들어오게 하지. 보통 거기 있는 security card가 나와요. 그래가지고 그분한테 주면은 또 들어가요 학교에. 근데 이제는 전혀 부모도 학교에 못 들어가게 해요. So those are type of the measures that they're taking for gun control. Not only about the licensing. 그러니까 이 지금 새로 법이 운전 라이센스 같이랑 똑같이. 그러니까 뉴욕에서 뉴저지 오면은 여기 라이센스 바꾸고 레지스트레이션 바꿔야 되잖아요. 그러니까 총도 딴 데서 갖고 들어오면은 그것도 다 레지스트레이션하고 라이센스도 다 다시 따야 돼요. So okay. And a background check. 그거는 that was a given before, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
My question is sort of follow-up question regarding the AAPI history education. As a background, the term AAPI references persons identifying as Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Both communities consist of diverse cultural backgrounds, each with uniquely different history and deserving its own recognition in the American history. Identifying each individual group within the umbrella term and determining which communities made it into school curriculum constrained by time limitations is a daunting process. My question is, will there be plans and processes in place to equitably determine which individual communities under umbrella terms will be incorporated into school curriculums? And if so, there will be an opportunity for public forum for each proposals?
I'll start by saying many years ago when you had the Latinos, if you were Hispanic, you're Hispanic, right? Didn't matter what country you came from, Guatemala, Mexico, Honduras, Dominican Republic, you were Hispanic. We non-Hispanics didn't realize that each country had its own culture. We've learned that now. So now we bring this forward to the AAPI. And yes, we say we have this broad umbrella term AAPI, but one must recognize that each country has its own culture and history and customs. And that has to be taught, of course, in schools. Now, you say equitably. That's going to be a tough one because in the curriculum, I don't know how they would do that. I mean, they can do it, I guess, but I'm not in education. I don't know how, but that would be the mission of the DOE, the Department of Education, state level, to ensure, to direct the school boards throughout the state to include in their school curriculums this AAPI education in some way, but also have to include that each country has its own customs and history as they go forward, and contributions in their countries and also in here. So the answer to that is yes. Now, the second part of your question, will there be input from the community? And the answer to that is more than likely will be yes. I mean, there'll be a system set in place where those individuals who have an interest in this can give their input or their concerns before this is implemented, I would think.
We will participate fervently.
All right. Now, also keep in mind that DOE is executive branch of government, we're legislative branch, so we can't tell them what to do, but we can certainly ensure that they hear our voice.
I think Gordon said it all, but right? This is the first AAPI committee ever. So, obviously we have a lot of hope and expectation as well. 그 대신 I think people have to understand that they're going to teach Asian American history. It's not going to be world history per se, right? Because we all learn world history in a different format. But this is going to be Asian history. So, if you look at the timeline, right? And even though that's what I'm saying, I don't want to get lost because we're Korean, but it'll probably start with, the first Asians coming to America, right? Whether that would be the Chinese, and then maybe it'll go into the Japanese or whatever. But, I think, again, we need to focus on our voice and not lose that in the committee. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind.
Thank you very much. A very hopeful outlook for that, and I'm very excited to see what the curriculum looks like and how the students will benefit from all of this. Next up, I'm going to introduce the Case Grassroots interns again. This one under the topic of transportation and infrastructure on the New Jersey Transit, more specifically traffic roads in general.
Hi, my name's Ian. I'm an intern with Case, and as you know, many people use New Jersey's public transport to travel within the state and also to Philly and New York. However, ever since the pandemic, it's been sort of struggling to come back. Many commuters complain about frequent delays and mechanical issues. And I know there is a project in the works to sort of, in the future, in the coming years, to better the infrastructure. But my question was, how do you plan to address this current issue with some more recent changes, and how can you make New Jersey Transit more accessible?
She passed it to me again. Okay. New Jersey Transit historically, recent history, under the last administration, was starved, was not given the money they needed to expand and to maintain their equipment under the previous governor. This governor is addressing it now by putting a lot of money into Jersey Transit for their capital projects and also for their operational projects. They had to hire numerous engineers to run the trains. They had to hire bus drivers to drive the buses. They contracted with independent bus companies to run some routes, which didn't work well in some areas, but still they're on top of that now. So to answer your question, it's about funding, it's about money that they did not get before. So money is going into Jersey Transit, a lot of money is going into Jersey Transit now to improve their services, to expand their services, and also to ensure that in the future that they'll be able to address the needs of the ridership that they expect in the future. To include a light rail system one day, a light rail system which will come through Palisades Park. It'll terminate in Inglewood at the north end. The southern end will go to North Bergen and then on down to Jersey City in Hoboken. So there's money working on to get that project going, to get people off the highways and onto rail, and try to get folks to New York City, wherever they want to go, to work and or recreation, to play, to have a good time. So it's not just work, it's people want to go back and forth to do other things too. But you want to get people off the highways and onto rail or your managed transit system. That's what we're trying to do. And finally, we got the money to do that. We also have federal funds coming in too, by the way, to help us do that.
I'll just talk about the infrastructure part since he talked about transportation. So 이제 코비드 때문에 보통 보면은 다 이제 꼭 직장 안 나가는 사람들도 많아요. or work from home이 많아졌어요. 그러니까는 저도 이제 work from home인데 계속 인터넷이 되고 안 되고 그게 큰 문제예요. 그래서 왜 뉴저지가 여기 굉장히 활동한 주인데 루프월 운전해도 갑자기 전화가 끊겨요. 운전하는데. 그래서 저도 지금 여기 보면은 Verizon 뭐 이런 인터넷 서비스 프로바이더한테도 만나서 얘기 좀 하고 그리고 Verizon도 그런 프로그램이 있어요. 코비드 때문에 너무 힘들어서 인터넷 서비스 돈이 없다. 그러면은 무료 주는 서비스 그런 것도 꼭 있으니까 그런 거 대해서 뭐 질문 있으면 우리 사무실한테 전해 주세요. 그럼 내가 연락해 드릴게요. 그래서 그런 게 많으니까 우리 그런 것도 지금 인터넷에서 일하고 있어요. I just talked about infrastructure.
Is that it? Did that answer your question?
You said federal funding.
Yes.
This is sort of like that annoying question, like, are we there yet in the backseat of the car? But I was just wondering, like, how soon can we expect that to like sort of flow into New Jersey?
How soon can we expect to see the improvement?
Yeah, I mean,
The money or
obviously there's a
the
lot
money
of,
or the improvements?
Yeah, the money.
The money
Obviously,
and
there's
the
a lot of,
improvements.
Like federal approval you have to get through.
The money, well, the money's coming in now. The money's coming in. All right, that's been coming in. If you've read stories about the Portal Bridge, I mean that's a major project to improve mass transit between New Jersey and New York, and that's about $1 billion project, and that's with federal funds and state matching funds. So the money's coming in already. So that's coming, but it takes time for it, of course, before you realize it as a end user. But well, you're high school.
Yeah, I'm in high school. Yeah.
By the time you graduate college, it'll be in place. No, it takes time for it, to get down to the end user. But you'll see improvements over the years, probably as soon as next year, okay? Because it's gradual. Yeah.
All right, thank you. That was very informative. I'm very looking forward to the new infrastructure. Do we have another question on traffic roads?
So many people find navigating within the Garden State to be difficult. And for example, a lot of major roads lack traffic lights, which could cause accidents and safety hazards. So many people believe that they should contact the local police to report these problems. But as many of us are aware, the officers are not in a position to alleviate those conditions. So my question is, where should people in New Jersey report these hazards, and how would you make the destination easier and more accessible to the public?
If you feel that there's a traffic issue in your particular town or city, you should contact the police, but also you should contact the elected officials in that city, in that borough. It's their responsibility to ensure that the people can travel in a safe manner. But also keep in mind, New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the country. So we have a lot of cars in one area. So traffic at times will be a bit of a challenge. Also, when you drive down like the Turnpike or a state highway and you see those orange traffic barrels there because they're doing construction, that's because people complained before about the highway having major issues. So the DOT, Department of Transportation, came down and they started to maintain these roads. So therefore, to maintain a road, you have to close a lane. And therefore, you have these delays and these big orange traffic cones there to direct you to a certain lane. So it's good to have your roads being maintained, but the price you have to pay for it is not being able to move freely because now you have to make way for construction to take place. But the answer to your question again, the bottom line is your local elected official. They're the ones who are responsible for the roads in their jurisdiction.
Ditto. 그 대신 you know what? I actually looked up your local municipality. 그러니까 지방자치제한테 꼭 신고하세요. 길에 문제가 있으면은 because that's what they're responsible for. Every town has a municipality. So 꼭 지방 자치제에다가 가서 신고하세요.
Yeah. Well, if it's a state highway, like 4, then you probably can call us, I guess, and we'll direct it to the state agency that's responsible. If it's a county road, because we have a lot of county roads here, then it goes to the county government. But your local official would know if their road is a local road or a county road or a state road. They would know that too. So, first stop, your local elected officials. Next question.
I actually had another question. So, as you can see, especially this month, there has been a lot of traffic with a lot of traffic going into the George Washington Bridge. So, how is you, elected officials, going to go about this problem?
Okay, the question is, for those who didn't hear it, the George Washington Bridge has a lot of traffic. How are we going to resolve that? That wouldn't work either. That's a very complicated question because you have 2 states involved. Number one, you have New York and New Jersey involved. When you look on the New York side, you cannot expand the Cross Bronx Expressway. It cannot be made. You can't make it any wider. That's it. So it's just a big bottleneck there. You can't make the. Well, they did improve the Henry Hudson Parkway a bit, but that is a problem that's going to be there for a very long time. Before Ellen came to the state assembly, we legislators talked to Port Authority about putting the idea of putting a monorail system across, like right to run down Route 4, straight across the bridge into the bus station. But they said no, that won't work because the weight, the load or the weight would be too much for the bridge. So that idea was scrapped. But if there's a Yankee game, the Yankees are playing at home, you have a problem. That's just the way it is for now. And it really cannot, without putting in billions and billions of dollars to fix it, on the New York side, it's just not going to happen.
야, 코비드 때문에 또 문제는 사람들이 마스 트랜sit 안 타고 가고 이제 우리 남편도 이제 맨하탄에서 일하는데 위험할까봐 일부러 그 기차 꼭 버스 타고 기차 탔는데 그러니까 버스 타고 브리지 건너면은 거기서 A 트레인 타고 저 밑에까지 갔는데 너무 위험할까봐 운전하라고. 그럼 한 사람이 운전하잖아요. 그리고 이제 일주일에 계속 나가다가 지금은 코비드 때문에 그리고 위험하니까 그러니까 우리 남편도 변호사인데 법대 같은 데도 매일 안 해요. 그 판사들이도 위험할까봐 매일 안 나오고 보통 비디오 컨퍼런스 하든 아니면은 일주일에 한 번씩 나와요. 그러니까 지금 I think it's very bad right now because it's summer. Also 꼭 맨하탄 이제 여름이니까 나가는 분들 많고 코비드 때문에 또 그러고 가스도 이제 많이 돈이 내려갔지만 또 올라갈 거고 그리고 we have to measure, right? Because 또 맨하탄도 이번에 그 surge pricing 지금 하려고 그래요. 그러니까 어떤 맨하탄 쪽 가면은 거기서 톨이 내야 되고 더 많이 내야 되고 또 다운타운 가면은 또 톨이 더 어떻게 더 많이 내. So we have to measure to see how that's going to be come September. And also 이제 코비드가 완전히 없고 사람들이 다 버스 타고 기차 타고 다니는 사람들이 다시 go back to normal. Then maybe we can, see. But I think right now it's especially bad because of all the things that are happening. So.
And I'll follow up with, it's a societal change. The George Washington Bridge was designed, that second level that's there, was actually initially designed for rail. But somewhere along the line, because we like cars, we liked cars back then, they made it, they put cars on this, they designed it for the whole cars and traffic that way. So now, the younger generation would like to see more mass transit, people out of cars. So, but the George Washington Bridge kind of missed that one because they're designed to hold cars now. So we are doing other ways, we're trying to figure out other ways to get people out of their cars in the mass transit to so they can get to New York or wherever they want to go without driving on our highways. Because, like I said before, we're the most densely populated state in the country. And many years ago, when they built the George Washington Bridge, there was like probably one car per household. Now in Bergen County and Hudson County and Essex County and Morris County, you have 3 or 4 cars per household. So it's just a lot more cars going across on our highways now. It's just the way it is.
Oh, thank you.
All right, next up, from Asian Women's Christian Association, we have another question regarding transportation infrastructure.
안녕하세요. AWC의 지미경입니다. Hello, my name is Mi Kyung, President of Asian Women's Christian Association, TNEC. We just call AWCA. AWCA, the 42 years history, is the social service organization. One of the longest program is the Asian Senior Center. My question is first, many Korean seniors need the shuttle service. It's between the densely populated is the Korean towns to the Korean nonprofit, the senior center, like us, AWCA. So, can you bring up the specific strategy for the convenient transportation for seniors in Bergen County?
You're asking about transportation services
Yes.
for seniors
Yes.
at the county level.
Yeah, county level.
Okay.
We already asked the Bergen County, but still the processing.
Okay, so you have a request into Bergen County
Yeah.
for a transportation system for seniors.
Yes.
For your
Yeah,
nonprofit
including our
or in
agency
general?
to all the senior service organization too.
To transport the seniors where?
We using the 2 big vans, but right now with only 1 van operation.
Yeah, but where transport?
Usually the Foley, the Leonia, Pal Park is the
Where
TNEC.
where are they going?
That's
To-
the TNEC, our organization.
Oh, you want
The
a
program.
you want a bus service for your program?
Yes.
Oh,
And also it's the other organization
yeah,
too.
I-
Yes.
I understand. I understand what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
That is, of course, that's Bergen County, of course.
Okay.
I cannot speak for them. We can't speak for them, I guess. Yeah. We could certainly write a letter or inquire or ask and advocate on your behalf
Okay.
to them for that. But that is definitely a Bergen County question. I know they do have transportation services, but I do not know how extensive it is. So you and I should talk offline.
Okay. We'll find out for you. Okay, thank you.
Hold on, we should talk offline. We should talk offline about that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
If that's your concern, the
Okay.
transportation services.
Okay. So my second question is the AWCA located in TNEC, the TNEC Road and between the 9 Genesee Avenue. So when entering the TNEC Road from the Genesee Avenue, where AWCA, it is often impossible to enter due to heavy traffic on TNEC Road. So it is very inconvenient and dangerous for the senior member, including the members. So will you introduce or bill the sponsor the installment the traffic light on TNEC Road?
Well, I support the idea of a traffic light at the corner of Teaneck Road and Genesee Avenue.
Yes, yes.
That belongs to Teaneck.
Yes, TNEC.
The local government has to approve that, unless Teaneck Road's a county road, I'm not sure.
Well, we can find out.
Okay.
But if it is a TNAC,
Mm-hmm.
you have to reach.
TNEC first.
Is it a county road?
No, they're
It's not a county road.
Yes.
I'm deferring to my staff over the side there. Teaneck Road a county road? You're not sure, right? You're not sure, okay. It's local, okay. Okay, so Teaneck Road is a local street.
Okay.
The elected officials in Teaneck have to say, yes, we're willing to put a traffic light there. They may speak to their engineer and find something else that may be more suitable for you and them. Have you spoken with the mayor, and have you spoken with the mayor yet? And
Yeah, No, change.
Township administrator?
Yeah, change the new mayors.
Zoom.
New mayors.
Oh, many years ago.
Yeah. No.
No, it's Mayor Dunleavy.
Yeah, right.
Have you spoken with the mayor?
Not yet. We only applied is the TNAC office, the manager office,
Okay.
many years ago.
Oh, many years ago.
Yes.
Okay, so 그러니까 그 로드가 아까 그랬잖아요. 지방
Yeah.
자치제라고. 그러니까 거기다가 말을 해야지 거기서 도와줄 수 있어요. Like so about government in the U.S. is there's different. There's local,
Yes.
there's state, there's federal, and county. And so we can recommend, but we can't make laws for county. Right, or they can't make laws for the state. So there's a very clear line of what we can and cannot do as legislatures.
Okay. So when I ask them, the traffic light is with your recommendation very strong.
Well, first, why don't you talk to them, and if they are not agreeing with you, then please reach out to us, and then we'll see what we can do. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up, from Minkwon Center, the topic of budget and appropriations.
Good evening. Good evening. 안녕하세요. My name is Kevin, and I am representing the Minkwon Center for Community Action. So, I want to start out by saying we're a relatively new organization in New Jersey, but we're not new to the Korean community. We've been around, our organization has been around for 37 years. And we recently made a decision to open a new office here in Palisades Park. And we do it out of need. We do it out of our mission to fight for the marginalized, and particularly undocumented immigrants. So actually, I would say this is actually not the appropriate category for our question. It's not just about budget and appropriations. It's about immigrant rights. Okay. So we understand that recently there have been developments in regards to the expansion of the Excluded New Jersey's Fund, that we were very disappointed at the fact that the original $53 million was not included in the budget. But we have recently heard that there is a commitment from the governor to include that amount, to expand the program.
Okay.
I want to first remind you all that in this county alone, there are 8,000 Korean American undocumented immigrants, 13,000 in New Jersey. Only 40 million was appropriated for this state. And in New York, the Excluded Workers Fund got $2.1 billion. You know, Minkwon Center for the last 2 years, we've been providing direct cash assistance to many, many undocumented Korean families. Over 3.5 million, actually. But we know that's nowhere near enough. So, my question to you both is, first of all, we've been realizing that there are a lot of hassles and discrepancies when it comes to actually applying for the Exclusive New Jersey. So, once in the situation where the fund does get expanded, what is your commitment to help streamline the process, right? So that as many undocumented families can get access to the fund. And I think more broadly, we'd love to hear from you both as to what you're willing to champion for undocumented immigrants. Most of the Korean community are immigrants, right? 1 in 7 Koreans are undocumented. And $500 is nowhere near enough to offset the pain and the suffering that undocumented immigrants have faced. You know, $600 million is the amount that undocumented immigrants pay in taxes in New Jersey every single year. yet they don't get the same amount of public benefits. So I want to hear from you both, would love to hear from you both, what are your commitments to champion the rights of undocumented immigrants, not just for Korean Americans, because for us, we are very, very rooted in building multiracial alliances, right? We have friends from Make the Road, New Jersey, working with New Jersey Immigrant Alliance. So we want to hear from you both, representing the Korean American community, but also the immigrant community at large. What are your commitments for fighting for the rights of undocumented immigrants? Thank you.
Your organization, what does it do?
We are a community.
What services do you provide to the undocumented?
So we provide a variety of social and legal services. Actually, we have people coming from New Jersey to New York for our services. Now we have an office there, yes, yes.
Where are you?
In Palisades Park.
You're in
Broad
Powell
Avenue.
Park. You're in Powell Park, okay. And you're,
And
go ahead.
we organize undocumented immigrants. We have thousands of families that we are in communication with here in New Jersey. And we want to hear from you both.
So I just want to say we are champions of undocumented immigrants, you know, especially with workers' rights. And, you know, I don't think comparing New York to New Jersey is a fair comparison. Even as a legislator, I get paid less than half of what New York gets paid. So I have to have a full-time job. I have a full-time job that I make money, go to work for my family, and then I have to do this for, you know, on the side, because that's how New Jersey's set up. So, you know, I have my own, and we could talk about this offline too, issues with that, because then, you know, if you don't pay us a salary where I can quit my job and do this full time, you know, I'm also burning ends. You know, we do what we can, right? So I understand New York has a lot of money. I'm very familiar with your center, and you know, I welcome you guys, and I've met with your director, and we want to work together. But also, you have to understand that, you know, undocumented immigrants in New Jersey, even though there's a lot of Koreans, it's not just about the Koreans, right? There are more undocumented Hispanics here in New Jersey, especially in the Hackensack area as far as District 37, right? So we are in talks with them. It's always about meeting, keeping relations. Pastor Peter I spoke about before, he's on the AAPI committee. He has the first, he has a huge church called Metro in Englewood that has actually half of their members are black from the Englewood town, and also half are Korean. So again, we talk about, you know, broadening our relationship, community relationships, right? So, you know, I can't say that I've done anything as far as, you know, I've been here for 6 months, but, you know, I know that Gordon, you know, he is a champion. We're all immigrants. We were at one point probably all undocumented that came over, right? So, you know, we are here as representatives of our community, and we will work very hard to make sure that undocumented citizens, like home citizens, right, should have the same rights as everyone else. So, like I said, we can talk offline, but, you know, we're always in the process of working on things.
And before Ellen had come to the legislature, we in New Jersey, we have the driver privilege card. You familiar with that? Where undocumented people can now apply for a driver's license in the state of New Jersey. Allows them to drive because, as said before, our mass transit system is not that great. So people need a car to get to work. We have undocumented people have access to health care. We have in-state, they now pay in-state tuition rate, which is something we worked on in New Jersey. So we've done things towards making their life better. Can we do more? We probably should do more, but still, we've done.
BVMI, right? Bergen.
Oh yeah, BVMI, yeah. Bergen Volunteer Medical Initiative, yeah. So there are places where you get access to health care for the undocumented. So, well, these are steps that have taken in the past. So we're going towards assisting them. But as you said, there's more that could be done.
Well, if I may ask, what more are you willing to do?
Well, what depends on the needs. Healthcare, in-state tuition, a lot of that is at the federal level. I mean, I think what needs to be done is the highway to citizenship. That has to happen. I mean, but that's above my pay grade. That's at the federal level. But in New Jersey, we've done a lot for the undocumented, and of course, as I said, there's more that we could do. But what would you like to see? Amnesty?
I think that is definitely something that we all want. But I
That's
think
federal.
that there are many things that state level can provide for
Yeah.
undocumented things.
Yeah.
But thank you.
We're just short of being a sanctuary state we came just short of that because we had too much pushback from the other side. So, but those who are here in this state are somewhat protected. But of course, there are more services that they could use.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Korean American Senior Citizens Association of New Jersey.
Hello, my name is Donald Yu. I'm representing Korean American Senior Citizens Association of New Jersey. We provide our seniors for their Medicare, Medicaid assistance, senior housing, Section 8 vouchers, and we also teach the seniors for their English, computer, and we also have the class for the American history. And we've been here in New Jersey for 31 years, but we are still operating on rent. We're renting a space. And one instance that I want to tell you is that one of our senior members came to our office last month, stayed there for like an hour. We're helping their Medicare application. And we found out that his car was towed because he parked on a parking space that didn't belong to us. Okay, so Senator Johnson and also Assemblywoman Park, especially Senator, you being in a budget committee, my question is if there's any possibility that the state could provide us any funding for us to get a better space for our operation? Yes.
You're requesting the state to provide funds for you to get a better location,
Yes,
and you're a nonprofit.
nonprofit.
I think the process for that would be grants. Grants. I don't think that there are that many grants for nonprofits for this. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you later on that. But the short answer for that is, does the state provide funding to nonprofits? Yes, it does. Will it do it for a capital expense? I don't know. They may not. They may do it just operational. I can't answer that question now. We have to talk later on about that because I really don't know. Because that's all in the executive branch, not a legislative branch. That is on the other side. So would I be supportive of that? Of course, I would be supportive if there's something there that we could assist you when you're applying for these funds through a process. I'd be glad to assist you with that. But I'd have to get back to you as to what is actually there for nonprofits for a building or an edifice that they're trying to procure. That sound good?
Yes, if I may add one more question to that is, can you two provide us some sort of guidance on what way that we have to?
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are two people standing over there.
Okay.
This-
We should meet them privately.
There are staffers, so we can putting them to work
Okay.
pretty soon, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Say hi, Claire. Say hi, Scott. Okay, very good. All right. So those are the two staffers who'll be working with us to see what's out there for you. Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
I think, people, because the news went out that we were able to get some money for KCC and New York Hanine,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I understand that there's a need, and we're going to work on the need. But I just want everybody to understand that the money that they asked for wasn't that the money, in other words, we didn't come up with the number, right? KCC asked for that amount. They actually had to submit a budget.
Okay.
And their expenses and their operating costs and how much they pay their staff to substantiate their ask of 76,000, right? Same thing for New Jersey Hanine. They asked for that money because they had to also tell the state, show the state, right, why they need that amount, right? So we will help you, but at the same time, like obviously there are, applications and filings and things of that nature to ask for the dollar amount. 그러니까 그 금액이 그 organization에서 그거를 물어본 거죠. 우리가 뭐 KCC는 이만큼 주고 뉴저지 한인은 이렇게 주라는 게 that's not how it works. So 그렇게 하시라고요.
Okay,
예.
so if you two could help us applying for the fund, we appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll do it.
Thank you so much.
Germanio.
Next up, we have Korean American Association of New Jersey.
So in 2006, Illinois passed a state legislature bill. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so in 2006, Illinois passed a bill. It was called the Minority Employment Plan. It was pretty much to further minority employment within the governmental workforce so that the governmental workforce reflects the constituents that it governs. So my question is there a chance that we can start that here in New Jersey? And if so, how can we make sure that it is being done properly? To ensure that all the reports and data is coming out so that we can actually get a hands on that.
Okay, you're saying that the government in Illinois, they had a bill or legislation to try to ensure that the workforce in the government reflected the population of the people they were assisting or helping or in a particular state. New Jersey is a collection of over 500 cities and towns and boroughs and villages. We have 21 counties, and we have one, and of course we have the state government. So to ensure all the governments did that would be quite a task. However, like I said before, I had a bill in that I believe was signed by the governor that just for the police department to ensure that these police departments, when they hire officers, that they try to get to a quota of the different ethnicities that are in that particular jurisdiction. That's a small piece of that. I'm the executive branch, the governor and the administration. They are trying to ensure that all the different ethnicities are represented at the state level. And if you look at the different commissioners at the state level and the other major departments throughout the state, you'll see a variety of ethnicities that are there at the commissioner administrative level. So we are doing that here. We're a state of 10 million people. So we're not really that big, but we are striving to do that. When I say we, also the legislature, more so the executive branch though. We are striving to do that to ensure that all the ethnicities are represented throughout state government. And that is a priority of the governor, Governor Murphy now. The county, workforce profile. No, I don't think so. We'll look into that. But we are striving to ensure that all ethnicities are represented. Now, is there a structured program to do that? I do not think so, except for the law enforcement piece that I put in. So should we follow what Illinois has done? Maybe we should, all right? And you brought that up. And my colleague, Ellen Park, will be looking into that. But we will look into that seriously. Okay. But we are striving to do that, though. So yes. It is happening. If you look at currently, this is a small part of this, the Superior Court, judges for the Superior Court in Bergen County, which we play a part in. We're trying to ensure that those individuals who are put before the who are selected to be judges, put in the process, that they represent different ethnicities throughout Bergen County. That's very important to us. So that's one small piece of it.
Yes. Okay.
Are you an attorney?
No.
Okay, you can't. Sorry.
We are working very hard to make sure we're represented. And as I mentioned before to, I guess, the press, right, is that, you know, I am the only one in, you know, the state house, one out of 120 legislatures. So I definitely understand and feel the need of more representation, right? But that being said, I think we really need to encourage our young people to be the next generation of leaders that this country needs to see, because I think for the longest time, you know, America has seen Asians as very docile, very, you know, we follow the rules, we are good citizens, and I think that has changed a lot, and so we really need to be loud, unfortunately, and I know that's not part of our culture, but to be a Korean American is to really like stand out at this point. And so I really encourage our young people to, you know, be the next generation of leaders, and don't let people tell you like, oh, you know, you're too docile or you're not strong enough, because we're a very resilient culture, so.
That was it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, and last but not least, I'm going to invite the Case Grassroots interns up again for another tough question.
Hi, my name is Daniel Park. I'm an intern from Case.
Hi, my name is Byung-Jun Lee, and I'm an intern for Case as well.
I'll provide some background information on Superfunds in New Jersey. So Superfund sites are known to contain harmful substances, of the few being carcinogens, endocrine disruptors, and neurotoxins. New Jersey is among the states with the most
Can you just get a little closer to the mic, and remember, speak clearly and a little louder and slower.
So New Jersey is among the states with the most Superfund sites in the nation. In December of 2021, under Biden's infrastructure bill, 7 of the 114 Superfund sites were promised to be cleaned up. However, there are still more than 100 Superfund sites remaining in New Jersey. One of the many Superfund sites is located in Edgewater.
And so the question is, what is causing the delay, and what can be done to get back on track to cleaning up the remaining Superfund sites? What, if anything, can get this process moving for at least the site in Edgewater?
The process is moving slowly. One must keep in mind that this is a federal government, not state. Superfund sites are an action of the federal government, and they provide the funding and the resources to clean these sites up. An example of that right now is the Hackensack River, which we all know about. That is currently being cleaned, I believe, to a certain extent. So why is it taking so long? It's a lot of money cleanup, and it's billions of dollars that has to be done. Also, historically in New Jersey, I'm going back maybe 200 years ago, I guess, we were a manufacturing state. We just made stuff, and we put the excess in the ground, because back then they didn't realize that it'd come back to haunt us 100 years later. So being an old manufacturing state, and with the chemicals that were used and what have you, that were dumped into our rivers and also into the ground on the sites where these factories were. Now we're trying to clean these sites up, so it takes a long time to do it. It hasn't stopped. It's still going on. It's just taken a long time to do. Okay?
Thank you.
And I like green energy. Oh, another part.
Hi, this is like the second question to the Superfund sites. First of all, hi, my name is Charn. I'm also an intern for CASE. The question goes, we were unsuccessful in finding publicly accessible information as to the status of the Superfund sites and their cleanup processes. What can be done to provide like the transparency as to the allocation of these funds and for the cleanup of these Superfund sites and assure the people living here of the safety to their health and well-being?
Okay, Superfund sites that's public information. You should be able to find that. If you can't, we'll find it and get you the list.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll get that to you. And the status of the site, I do not know if that's public because it's a schedule to be remediated in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. That I do not know. But the location of Superfund sites is public information, so we can get that to you.
Okay.
You just want Bergen County or the whole state?
Whole state would work too.
The whole state, huh? Okay, all right, we'll get that to you. What was the second part of your question? Where are they? Access to information and...
Yeah, it's just like what can be done to
What can be done to...
provide transparency, I guess.
Well, that's there, I think. For location is anyway. And that'd be a good question for your congressman. Because that's federal too. And but we will provide you with the locations, or at least a website or a site where you can find it yourself. Okay.
All right. Thank
Very
you.
good. All right.
Nail Salon Association, and the president, he couldn't be here, so I'm sort of speaking for him. And there were a few subjects that he wanted us to address. One is there any way that someone could be elected into the board member for cosmetology? And also is there any way that we could have different variety of options to get licensed to work, which is internship as well as testing in Korean language?
Yeah, we've been working on that for a while. I think we're trying to ensure now that we have an Asian American on the cosmetology board. We put, yeah. Oh, it was you. We put your name in. Okay. Well, you want somebody to be with you. Okay. But yeah. So again, trying to reflect the makeup of the state when it comes to that, to make sure the boards also are important in that. So yes, for a while we're working on trying to give the test. There's a test that has to be taken. Giving the test in Korean. We tried to do that years ago. We're still working. I think that I had a lot of pushback from that, but we're still working on that. I don't think it's in Korean yet, but that's another one. And what was your third question there?
An internship.
Internships.
Yes.
Like in New York.
Yes.
We were waiting to hear from you guys about. So we are working on it, but we were waiting to hear from you guys because you said there was a similar law in New York. Right? So we're trying to look it up to see if we can make a comparison, but no one has reached out to us. And maybe last time you spoke to Carlito, but Carlito is no longer in my office, so Claire is here. So maybe that was also, but we will talk afterwards. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
And over there.
Hello, my name is Jessica Lee, and I'm an undergraduate at Columbia University. I'm currently the kids internship coordinator for New Jersey, and we basically go to these voter registration drives. Every Friday, and we've experienced a lot of, or at least somewhat of, racial discrimination during our experiences. So an example is I was asking this person if they're registered to vote, and it was a white male, and he asked me what has Korean or what have Korean Americans done for America? We fought a war for you. So I was very shocked, and then he proceeded to tell me that I had pretty eyes, which is, all right, thank you, but also, you're a white male. But yes, and I was wondering what can be done for support and also education about this, because I don't want my own interns or younger generations to go through this.
You know, I think that's just something that's going to happen. We can't control the individual, right? A jerk is a jerk. Like, you can't change his, right? Like, right? 나쁜 사람은 나쁜 사람. You can't judge one person as a community. Meaning, like, you can't say 백인 사람이라고 나쁘다고, right? You can't say that either. Just this one gentleman, right? 근데 I think the best way is to teach them. Like, you know, I know, you know, if they say, I mean, if it was me, I would say thank you, but at the same time, I'm saying, sir, I'm here to, you know, register voters. If you're already registered, please move down the line, right? And then, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times you just have to speak up and be nice about it, right? But also, you know, if we say, you know, 욕하고 or like, get out of here, 그러면은 that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember, oh, this woman treated me like that, even though he's the one who was acting very inappropriately. So I think, you know, again, right now, you know, I think we have a really good momentum. You know, we have 4 Congress persons that are Korean American that just got elected in 2020. In the history of America, there's never been a Korean American congressperson, and now we have 4, right? And perhaps in 2022, we'll have more. So, you know, I think people are watching, and you do your best to be professional and understand that, you know, this one individual is just one bad apple. You know, it's not an organization that is coming to you with that kind of malice.
Don't worry, you'll meet more as you get older. But yeah, like Ellen said, I mean, a jerk is a jerk. So I mean, nothing you can do about that. I mean, but on the broader scheme, education, like we talked about before, educating and reaching down to our young people in the school districts, whether it be the primary grade or middle school, to ensure that people are made aware of the contributions made by Asian Americans, Koreans, Black Americans, Latinos, where it may be, that made this country what it is important.
Yes, thank you. I was actually wondering if there are any resources that people could go to if they need help with this kind of problem. And I know that I named one example, but because this is like a repetitive thing, I wonder if there are any means of kind of dealing with this, a place to perhaps report it.
Well, it's not against the law to be a jerk. I mean, it's not against the law to be stupid either. So it just happens that way. Should it be noted somewhere? Probably so. Maybe reporting it to the local police wherever you were. I don't know what town you're in when this happened. Just so they have a report of it. Of course, they wouldn't have a name or anything, though, just a description of the person. But just so it's noted somewhere. But it's not a violation of the law to be a jerk. A jerk. I almost used the wrong word. A jerk.
You could say it in Korean.
Napun? Okay. Napun. Okay. A bundagi. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. We are now at the end of this evening's program. I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation to the New Jersey State Legislatures for their time in making this a successful event. Can we give them a hand?
I have one like sentence that I wrote in Korean.
Oh yes, please.
As my closing remark, right? 이거 정부들 한국 주민들한테 어떻게 쉽게 그리고 빨리 알려줄 수 information, sorry. 그러니까 정보가 굉장히 중요하다 생각해요. 그러니까 지금 여태까지 한국 분들한테 정보를 이렇게 알려주는 representative가 많이 없었잖아요. 그러니까 제가 한국 사람이니까 그게 제일 중요하다고 생각하고 지금 제일 쉽게 빨리 주민들한테 이걸 정보를 이렇게 알려주는 아이디어를 지금 생각하고 있어요. 그러니까 웹사이트 같은 것도 이제 나이 들은 분은 안 하니까 어떻게 알려줘야 되는데, 그러니까는 그런 것에 대해서 지금 일하고 있는데 이제 꼭 그 한국 사람들도 알아야 돼요. 진짜 그 주하고 페더럴하고 프로그램들이 많아요. There's so many grants, programs, private and public. 우리가 몰라서 그래요. 그러니까는 my goal for the next 2 years is to get as much information. 네, 그랬잖아요. 요번 Verizon도 만일에 그 코비드 때문에 못 내면은 거기서 다 내준다고. 그리고 요번 월요일 날도 그 코비드 렌털 어시스턴스. 거기서 코비드 때문에 렌트는 못 내면 거기 돈이 있어요. 그러니까 그런 것도 apply 해야 되니까 그런 information은 제가 계속 이제 이렇게 해줄 거예요. So that is my goal. All right. That was sort of broken Korean, but
Yeah, what she said. And our other colleague, Assemblywoman Sharma Haider, who is Pakistani. All right, so she couldn't be here tonight because she's packing her bags to go to Pakistan to go back home to see her family. So we're an eclectic crew, the three of us. We're here to represent you and serve you, to provide services for you. And we hopefully will be successful in doing that. Will you feel comfortable with calling us or emailing us or whatever, however you want to contact us? And we are here for you. And I'll close with that. 감사합니다. 여러분.
I would also at this time like to thank all the organizations and persons that came out here and today. I want to acknowledge all of the amazing and important work that all of us are doing together for the betterment of all of our communities. Thank you.